We are from Superstars Media.
Ask 3 service chiefs that served in Kaduna under my watch. One of them is still alive, Farouk Yahya. Was chief of army staff. He was GOC in Kaduna. I saw him yesterday at a wedding. You can call him, bring him to this program and ask him what we did. What I will not do, okay, is to pay bandits, give them monthly allowance, or send food to them in the name of non-kinetic. It's nonsense. We are empowering bandits. It's not the government of Kaduna State. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Kiss the bandits. That's the new policy. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Kiss the bandits. That's the new policy. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor. Is a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor. Is a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor. Is a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor.
My people, my Biafran people, how on a day? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media. To my fellow Biafrans, to Nigerians, to the whole Christians around the world, and also to America. To Congressman Riley Moore, a man I appreciate, a man I love, a man who is a brother in Christ, a man who went with his team to America to carry out a fact-finding mission. A man who, when they returned, he gave some accolades to the Nigerian security advisor headed by the one they call Ribadu. And when I saw those accolades, I was in tears, I was in shock, I was in horror. I felt disdained, I felt perplexed, I was baffled. I saw myself in a conundrum. I was also flabbergasted, to use those big words, seeing that America would fall so cheap to the games by Nigeria. Hence, I made a video where I said, please, America, do not fall for the gimmicks of Nigeria. Because the one Congressman Riley Moore was speaking with, Ribadu, is actually one of the brainchilds of the Fulani militias. One of the brainchilds of those anointed to carry out the movement to Islamize Nigeria. One of the brainchild who is supporting the activities of the bandits, the terrorists, the Fulani militia in Nigeria. One of those that came with the policy. In fact, the leader of those that came with the policy. What we call the cheese policy. To feed the terrorist, fund the terrorist, and pay the terrorist every month in their so-called absolute non-kinetic approach under the watch of Ribadu, the head of the NSA, that our good brother Congressman Riley Moore met in Abuja was carrying out. So this video is about me specifically speaking one-to-one with our brother in America, Congressman Riley Moore. Please, we understand that you are due to send down your final write-ups to the president. Please, I want you to rethink, reconsider for all that is good. We told you Nigerian government cannot be worked with. You cannot trust them. You cannot collaborate with Nigerian government because they are behind the killing of the Christians in Nigeria. Because their sole intention is to carry out the activities, the commandment given to them by their leader, the one they call Usman Dan Fodio. At this point, as God will have it, we've seen the news where some terrorists they call bandits were caught And at the point of death, they had to confess. They confessed where they got their weapons from. That the government of Kwara State, a Yoruba state that is now an Islamite state, that is now being controlled by the Fulani Caliphate. I repeat, to Congressman Riley Moore, Kwara State was once a Christian state owned by the Yorubas. But today, the Fulani militia now controls Kwara State. Today, the governor of Kwara State is now a Fulani man, a Muslim. And this picture you're seeing here, these three men, these three terrorists caught with AK-47 and different weaponry. At their point of death, or they assumed they were about to be killed, they gave out the call, they confessed, and they said that the weapons they have, even the vehicles they were driving, the pickup trucks, were given to them by the government of Kwara State. So let us read what they said in this one, and I hope Congressman Riley Moore is paying attention. Please, in the name of God, do not do no business, no alliance with the Nigerian government. That will be the biggest mistake of America. Let us read. It says, Kwara government confirms arrested armed men are Miyetti members involved in the NSA Ribadu-led security operations. I repeat, when the heat was brought on the Kwara State government, they had to come in the public to confess that they know this terrorist. Those terrorizing the people, when they were caught at their point of death, they confessed where they got the weapon from. I can't play it in this video because YouTube will shut it down. They are scared of the truth to be aired out. But I implore you all to please go out there and play the video and hear the confessions from this man, where they confess their sins and blames. They blame the government for giving them the weapon. And when the government was pressed, when the Kwara State government was pressed, they called on the man you shook his hands with, Congressman Riley Moore. When the Kwara State government were pressed, they called on Ribadu as the one that gave them the weapons. Those are the men, the Miyetti, those that are above the law in Nigeria, to carry their cattle all across Nigeria, to and fro Nigeria, with heavy weaponry. So let's read again. It says, Kwara State confirms arrested armed men are Miyetti members involved in NSA Ribadu-led security operations. Involved in the National Security Advisor's Ribadu-led security operations. So to Congressman Riley Moore, did Malam Ribadu, the one you met, you shook his hands, did he tell you of these covert operations that he runs from his own department? Did he tell you his hands are in what is happening to the Christians in Nigeria? Did he tell you he operates an armed wing of this terrorist, these Fulani militias? Congressman Riley Moore, please do not judge Nigeria based on your own intellectual. The same way you perceive the world, the same way you reason as a human being. Nigerians are not humans, they are animals. The government of Nigeria, they are not humans, they are animals. They are bent on pleasing Saudi Arabia, hence they want to Islamize Nigeria. They would rather spend $1 billion to go to the Hajj in Saudi Arabia than to build a hospital, a school for the people. So please, we are calling out. I am calling out on Congressman Riley Moore to please do the right thing. Make sure you go back to the notes, the drawing board that you have, the written document that you're about to present to Donald Trump. Make sure you go back and do some changes. I beg to you in the name of God, rethink and reconsider for all that is good. NUHU Ribadu is one of those deliberately placed in a position to actualize the Islamization of Nigeria. If you won't take my words, I will present to you some of the words said by a two-term governor of Kaduna State, the one known as Malam El-Rufai, where he discussed the new policy of the NUHU Ribadu-led governmental department, known as the CHRI policy, where they feed the terrorists, they fund the terrorists, and they pay them every day in their so-called 100% non-kinetic approach. At this point, I want the indulgence, the attention of Congressman Riley Moore. This one is upon you because Donald Trump placed upon you the ultimate assignment to save the children of God. So I'm asking you to please lend me your ears. In the name of God, Congressman Riley Moore must watch this video. Send this video to him, tag him on his X page, email him, let him know that this message must be read before he gets deceived by the Nigerian government that for 16 years they did nothing about the killing of Christians, the genocide of Christians, until Donald Trump came in the public to condemn them. Now they are pretending as if they are active, even though the so-called men of God, the pastors who were once Muslims, some of the pastors who were once Muslims are still in support of the Nigerian government, saying that America is coming to steal the resource of Nigeria. So please, I want to seek the attention of Congressman Riley Moore as I play the next video. Thank you.
Ask 3 service chiefs that served in Kaduna under my watch. One of them is still alive. Farouk Yahya was chief of army staff. He was GOC in Kaduna. I saw him yesterday at a wedding. You can call him, bring him to this program and ask him what we did. What I will not do, okay, is to pay bandits, give them monthly allowance, or send food to them in the name of non-kinetic. It's nonsense. We are empowering bandits. It's not the government of Kaduna State. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Kiss the bandits. That's the new policy. My position has always been the only repentant bandit is a dead one. Let's kill them all. Let's wipe them. Let's bomb them until they are reduced to nothing. And then the 5% that still want to be rehabilitated can be rehabilitated. You do not negotiate from a position of weakness. You don't empower your enemy. You don't give him money to go and buy more sophisticated weapons. That's why the insecurity problem has not gone away and will not go away as long as this policy continues.
They
can deceive, they can cover up, they can do propaganda, but those that live in Katsina, those that live in Zamfara, those that live in Kaduna, those that live in those states, they know what is happening.
Well, is that the reason why perhaps you think that there's a slowdown in the attack on schools and kidnaps that we've seen in Kaduna? The quiet we've seen in the Benegwari
there is no slowdown. Kaduna, I was governor for 8 years. I was governor of Kaduna State for 8 years. Only 3 schools were attacked in 8 years. Okay? This government has been around for 2 years. 3 schools have been attacked. And they paid the bandits. They paid them ₦1 billion the first time the school was attacked and students abducted. They are paying bandits. They are apologizing to them. They are
finding this information about ₦1 billion being paid.
Look, let the governor or anyone come and deny. We have the evidence. When the time comes, we'll reveal everything. They are paying bandits. They are empowering bandits. This is what this government is doing.
And you think that will not work?
It will not work. It has never worked anywhere in the world.
There you have it. There you have it. To Congressman Riley Moore, there you heard it. From the mouth of a two-term governor of Kaduna State, a man highly revered, respected by Nigerians, even by the government of Nigeria. Malam El-Rufai just explained how the policy of Nigeria under the National Security Advisor, Ribadu, the one you met in Abuja. Congressman Riley Moore, you shook hands with this man in Abuja. You've just heard his policy, where they assume paying money, paying billions will solve the problem, because to them, those terrorists, they are their freedom fighters. They are their brothers. And because they know that the ultimate game is to Islamize Nigeria, so they choose not to go after those bandits. Instead, to pay them and find a way to cajole them and send them to other places where the Christians are based or located. At this point, I want you to watch this video, which explains or tries to give a very good perspective of what is happening in Nigeria. This video is for Congressman Riley Moore. I know you have this information, but you need to understand how the Nigerian government pay these terrorists, buy them weapons. And for 16 years, they've been waxing strong until the American government put a halt or a clog in the wheel of the progress of this terrorist trying to Islamize Nigeria. So watch this video where it says, we got AK-47 from Kwara government. Bandits, they confess. I know after this video, my life will be in danger. I know after this video, the life of my family will be in danger because they've been attacking me through and fro. But I am somebody that must speak the truth. I believe in the truth. And I believe I fear no one but God. So let's play on with this video. Let them come after me, but I hope America will hear my voice and do what is right. That's when Congressman Riley Moore writes to Donald Trump in his final briefing. I hope he rethinks and reconsiders. Because we know Nigeria so much. We know them so well. We came from the womb of Nigeria. Nigeria is a criminal enterprise. We, the Biafrans, we came from the womb of Nigeria. And to Congressman Riley Moore, if you don't understand, if you're not sure, if you're not 100% certain if a genocide is happening in Nigeria, then I implore upon you to go back with your fact-finding team mission, your fact-finding team. But this time, please, I beg upon you to go into the land of Biafra and investigate. You will have all the answers you need in the land of Biafra. Because when you compare what is happening in Biafra land, then the activities happening in Benue, Plateau, and those other states in the core north areas, they become a child's play. When you juxtapose it, you compare and contrast with the killings of Christians in Biafra land. Unfortunately, in Biafra land, we have been condemned to die. Nigerians and the world, Britain, they have condemned the Biafrans to die. That is why the Nigerian media will never report what is happening in Biafra land. The same way they are reporting in Benue and Plateau State, they will never report the genocide happening in Biafra land. So to Congressman Riley Moore, if you are not sure, if you are not 100% certain about the genocide happening in Nigeria, if looking at Benue and Plateau and some other places that your team have looked into, if you're not 100% certain about the genocide, then please take a peep, just a peep. Investigate Biafra land, and what you see will blow your mind. You will notice the biggest hidden secret of the killing of Christians all across the world that has been secretly hidden from the world. We, the Biafrans, we are largely Christians, Jews, and traditional worshippers. I repeat, in Biafra land, 99.99% are Christians, Jews, and traditional worshippers. We don't believe in Islam. We don't believe in Allah. We don't believe in the Prophet of Allah. We believe in Jesus. We believe in the Bible. We believe in the Torah. We believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. We believe in Mary being the mother of God and the mother of Jesus. We believe in the Holy Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. We believe that Jesus died for the world to save us from the everlasting death. This is why they hate us with a passion. This is why Nigerian government, they hate the Biafrans with a passion. And this is why they have barred and sanctioned all the media houses in Nigeria never to report the atrocities happening in Biafra land. So if you're not sure, to Congressman Riley Moore, if you're not sure, if your team are not sure, if your fact-finding team are not sure of what you found in Benue State and Plateau, then we are pleading with you. Go back to Biafra land. Go back to Nigeria and investigate for yourself. All you have to do is speak to just 10 people. Speak to just 10 people, I said. And their stories will amaze the world. Because that's something the Nigerian media, they've been barred from doing. At this point, just watch a very brief video of what transpired with those terrorists who were being funded by your friend, NUHU Ribadu, the head of the NSA, that you gave some accolade to on your return from Nigeria. Let us watch it.
This is a story that sounds like a script from a Nollywood movie. But unfortunately, it is the cold, hard reality facing the people of Kwara State right now. If you have been following the security situation in Nigeria, you know that for a long time, we looked at Zamfara, Kaduna, and Niger states as the red zones. But today, the spotlight has shifted violently to the state of harmony. The headline you saw is trending for a reason. It contains an allegation so heavy it could sink a ship. We are talking about bandits arrested by the Nigerian army in the Felodon local government area, who have allegedly dropped a bombshell confession claiming that their AK-47 rifles came from, wait for it, the Kwara state government. Now, before we jump to conclusions, we need to unpack the facts, the arrests, and the terrifying context of what is happening in Kwara right now. This isn't just one isolated rumor. It is part of a chain of events that has exploded over the last few weeks. The Nigerian army and the police have been conducting intense clearance operations in Felodon, Edu, and the forest corridors linking Kwara to Kogi and Ekiti. And what they are finding is shocking. Let's start with this specific arrest in Felodon that has everyone talking. Troops of the Nigerian army, acting on intelligence, intercepted a Gulf Salon car at a checkpoint along Sheretown. On the surface, it looked like a normal vehicle transporting charcoal. But when the soldiers, who are now wiser to these tricks, decided to dig deep, they didn't find just charcoal. Hidden underneath the black sacks were 6 AK-47 rifles. 6. That is enough firepower to sack a village. The 5 suspects in the car were immediately arrested. But here is where the story gets K-leg. According to the viral reports and the gist spreading like wildfire, during interrogation, these suspects allegedly pointed fingers upwards. They claimed the weapons were sourced through connections that lead back to government circles. Now, the army and the state government have not officially confirmed this specific confession because obviously that is a matter of national security. But the accusation alone has set the internet on fire. It feeds into the fears people have had for months that the banditry in Kwara is not just external aggression, but has internal collaborators. And why would people believe such a heavy accusation? Because of what else has happened in just the last 7 days. On Monday, December 8, 2025, the Department of State Services arrested a medical doctor. Yes, a qualified medical doctor. He wasn't arrested for malpractice. He was arrested for allegedly treating gunshot wounds of bandits in the forest. He was the bandit doctor, providing pharmaceutical supplies and critical care to the terrorists operating in the Kwara-Niger axis. If a doctor is on the payroll, who else is? Furthermore, just this week, on December 6, the Kwara State Police Command intercepted another massive haul in Edu local government area. They caught 4 arms couriers with 100 rounds of live AK-47 ammunition hidden in a Toyota Corolla. One of the suspects, Musa Mohammed, confessed that the ammo was picked up in Nasarawa and was being delivered to a contact in Bugbo. You see the pattern? Arms from Nasarawa, rifles in the Felodon, doctors in the forest. This is a well-oiled machine, not just random criminals. The tension in the state is so high that the Kwara state government has been forced to take drastic measures. Just days ago, the government ordered the closure of schools in 4 local government areas, Isin, Irepudon, Ifeludon, and Ekiti. When a government shuts down schools, they are admitting that they cannot guarantee the safety of the children. It is a surrender to the fear of mass abduction. And this plays right into the narrative of the headline. If the bandits are so emboldened that they can force schools to close, and if they are claiming to have government rifles, it paints a picture of a state under siege from within. We also have to talk about the propaganda war. In October, there were reports that bandits had overrun an army position and stolen general purpose machine guns. The army came out to debunk it, calling it fake news designed to lower morale. But when you look at the sheer volume of weapons being recovered, AK-47s in Share, ammo in Edu, you have to ask, where are they getting these weapons? If the government allegation is true, it will be the biggest scandal of 2025. If it is false, it shows that the bandits are using psychological warfare to destroy trust between the people and their leaders. The Minister of Communications, Boson Tijani, even dropped a bombshell on Channels TV just last night, Friday, December 12th. He revealed that these bandits are using special technology to bounce their calls off multiple towers to evade tracking. They are not using normal SIM cards that you can just block. They are using tech that requires serious funding. Who is funding this? A bandit in the bush doesn't just walk into a shop and buy call bouncing technology. Someone sophisticated is behind this. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak is in a hot seat. His administration is fighting back with vigilantes and supporting the military. But these allegations of state government rifles are a stain that needs to be washed clean immediately. The opposition will definitely feast on this. But for the common man in Offa, in Umaron, in Ilorin, the politics don't matter. What matters is that they can't sleep with 2 eyes closed. So, what is the connection? The suspects with the AK-47s in the charcoal car, the doctor treating them, the arms suppliers in Edu, they are all part of a syndicate that seems to have turned Kwara into the new epicenter of banditry in the North Central. The confession about the government source might be the loose thread that unravels the whole sweater. If the army investigates this thoroughly and finds a link, heads will roll. I want to engage you guys on this. Do you believe the bandits' confession? Do you think it is possible for government officials to be supplying arms to the very people killing their citizens? Or is this just bandits trying to cause confusion? It's a heavy question, but in Nigeria, we have seen snakes swallow money. So is anything impossible? And look at the timing. We are approaching the end of the year. Bandits often ramp up attacks in December to get Christmas bonus ransoms. The closure of schools is a proactive step, but is it enough? This story is developing every hour. The suspects are currently in custody, undergoing intense interrogation. We are waiting for the army or the police to parade them. If they repeat that confession on camera, it will be game over for someone in high places. I need you to tell me in the comments, what should be the punishment?
Hold it there. Thank you very much, my good colleague in the field. He mentioned it was getting more momentum, and in the less than 6 hours or 10 hours ago, we now got the breaking news we were waiting for. The government of Kwara State were pressed, and they came in the public to confess that those terrorists caught were part of the team of the NSA, Ribadu-led security team of the Miyetti cattle ranchers movement, the brainchild of insecurity in Nigeria, hails from them. So to Congressman Riley Moore, I hope now you understand what we are dealing with. I hope now you've now got a taste of what Nigeria is, how Nigerians are. When I say Nigerians, I mean those in government. Because to a large extent, the people are nice people. The youths of Nigeria are nice people. But when the government bends your hands to a place where you can bend no more, then you are left to fend for yourself. So Congressman Riley Moore, to Senator Ted Cruz, I'm calling upon you to please rethink and reconsider for all that is good. Before you drop down that message that final briefings, hand over to Donald Trump. Please rethink and reconsider. In clauses where you say, oh, we can work with Nigerian government, we have a partnership, we have a mutual understanding with the Nigerian government. I am telling you now, that will be the biggest flaw of your plan to safeguard the Christians in Nigeria. The Nigerian government cannot be trusted. They are the pioneers of the problem. They are responsible for the problem. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. No more talk.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
But particularly, the United States is concerned and outraged by the ongoing slaughter of thousands of Christians in Nigeria by various ethnic militias in the Middle Belt, as well as terrorists like Boko Haram and ISIS West Africa in the north. It is tragic and it is unacceptable. Churches are burning, villages are being razed, thousands are killed, clergy murdered, simply for wearing a cross, for being a Christian, for daring to say they worship Jesus as Christ. Just yesterday, 25 little girls were kidnapped from their school, and one school official murdered trying to protect them, from MAGA Comprehensive Girls Secondary School in Kebbi State. Colleagues, this is happening. It's undeniable, and it's unacceptable. The United States condemns these attacks in the strongest terms, and it demands accountability. And as President Trump has made clear, we will not stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria. The government of Nigeria must take immediate steps and do more to increase security, respond to early warnings, end impunity, and address the drivers of violence.